Woe to you, O earth and sea, because the devil sends the beast with wrath, because he knows the time is short. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number, and its number is 666.
For my 666th video, a lot of people expected me to do something evil. But what is evil? It's thrown around a lot. How do you define something as evil? To me, it's a value judgment. So talking about something being absolutely evil is a question of perspective. For some religious people, simply not believing in their God or their specific teachings in relation to their God marks you as evil. Some other people would say, well, Hitler was definitely evil. Honestly, that's perspective. The people who were following Hitler, do you think they woke up and went every day, well, time for me to go and serve my evil overlord. Gosh, I love evil. They thought they were not evil. I suspect you and I may well think they were evil, but what I'm saying, again, it's a value judgment rather than something objectively real. And to me, anyone who talks about evil being an absolute thing that they can define is just someone who's really locked into a particular way of thinking and can't conceive of anything outside their narrow little world. Sometimes I think evil is just a word that's used when a person or a situation is too confronting or too inconvenient to spend too much time thinking about. Stuff that people just don't want to face up to. Sometimes they go, oh well, that person was evil. In the Middle Ages, people that we would call serial killers, sadistic predators, were referred to as werewolves. They weren't regarded as human because people went, okay, someone who could do that, chop up little babies, put them in a casserole and make a cloth cap out of their skin, that can't be human. That is so far outside what we accept as reasonable behaviour. The only possible answer is they're not human. They're some sort of evil creature, and so they were called werewolves. Some people are just fucked as far as I'm concerned. They're still human to any practical definition, but they're not otherworldly or possessed of some innate evil. They're just fucked up. I also think the idea of evil is often used by people to conveniently shut down criticism. Speak up against some authority figure, you get declared evil. If you don't support them, you're evil. If you don't support their goal to shut down whole sections of the internet because, gosh darn it, child pornographers use that, well, you must be a child pornographer. You must be evil. You must support evil. If you don't fight against their definition of evil, the only possible answer is you are evil. One of my favourite names for a charity ever, there's a charity in Australia called Australians Against Child Abuse. And I thought that was a stroke of marketing genius to call your charity Australian Against Child Abuse. Because when you ask for a donation for that charity, you say to someone, do you support Australians Against Child Abuse? And if you say, no, I don't want to give you money because I don't support Australians Against Child Abuse, they say, well, what do you support? Are you an Australian in favour of child abuse? Marketing genius, I say. With some people, if you try and argue there is no such thing as absolute evil, absolute right, absolute wrong, it's always a question of perspective, they can get really indignant, do something like accuse you of moral equivalence. Those same people would drop their so-called morals in a second for their own personal gain, whether that's political gain, for power, or just dirty, filthy money. The people who most argue for a really constrained view of the world are remarkably often people who will jump and twist any sort of law or morality in a second for cheap personal gain. I really don't like people like that. The thing is, evil is not a concrete thing. Evil is an abstract concept. You can't fight an abstract concept because it's not real. How do you know you've beaten it if you can't point to it and say, that was evil, I vanquished it, I win the battle against evil? Well, that's just stupid. Declaring war on abstract concepts. That would be like declaring war on terror. No one would be stupid enough to do that and think they were going to be taken seriously.
So what I'm saying is evil's just a point of view rather than an absolutely real physical thing. Except maybe in this place. And 666, that's just a number. By tomorrow, I'll probably be up to 667. So I hope you're hanging around for that. Catch you later.
I wanted to do something evil for 666. I missed my tram. Am I too late?